Hey everyone, so in this episode we're going to go ahead and set up a view for our product, for our UI. So what we want to do is first let's create an admin folder where we're going to put our admin pages. And now press Ctrl+Shift+A. And what we want to add is a razor page. Let's call it index.html. That'll do us. Okay, and at the bottom let's create a section for our scripts. And in here, I will leave a link in the description for this. We want to import this script file in here. So if we quickly take a look at the source in our browser, you can just see this Vue.js implementation, and it's thousands of lines long. Yeah, and that's what we're going to importing into here. So if you're wondering about this section tag, what is this? If we go into our shared layout, you can see this section, render section here, and it has a required false flag. So not every page requires this section, but it has a name of scripts, and this section will get rendered at the bottom of our layout for every page where we specify this section. So next thing we want to do, let's go into our www.root.js. Let's create another folder called admin, and let's create a main.js file. So this is where we're going to be configuring our view. And to make a clear distinction between a framework and a library is something that we use in our code, and the framework is something that's going to be using our code. And hopefully going forward, that's going to make more sense. So let's create an app, and that's going to be a new view object. And we want to specify some options for this view object, which is the first one should always be your element as an entry to the DOM element to which the view is gonna look for all its bindings and work its magic. So let's give it an ID of app. And next thing we wanna do is specify a data property. These are all the objects, properties, variables within the view framework that it's gonna look at and it's gonna work its magic on. But yeah, let's quickly say price, and let's give it a default variable of 0. Let's, in our index.cshtml, let's import our main.js file. So js admin main. Let's create a div element here, and let's give it an ID of app. Make sure your main.js comes after the view. If you put it before that, it's not gonna know what the view object is. Next thing, when this code executes here, it's gonna look for this element with an ID of app. So this is gonna find this element, and anything inside that element, the view is gonna be aware of those DOM elements and is gonna do its manipulation, and it's gonna be aware of the directives. So what is a view directive? Let's create an input field. Let's say type number. Remove this, and let's do v model. And here let's say price. At the bottom, let's create a paragraph tag, and let's put 2 curly brackets and say price. So a view directive is just a property bound to an HTML element with some built-in functionality inside Vue. You can specify your own directives, and v dash specifies that Vue is currently going to be looking at this, and model specifies the name of the directive. So when you write your own directive, you can specify your own name. Anything with Vue / your directive is going to use your implementation for this object. And let's just run this. Let's see what happens. While it's loading, go into our layout CSHTML page. And let's quickly add a link to our admin page. Close this, refresh. Okay, so here you can see our input field and you can see this number. So let's start typing and you can see that it automatically updates. If you're seeing this for the first time, it's probably looks like magic, but this is what Vue does, and this is why it's so powerful. So another thing I want to quickly introduce here, because I think it's fitting, is computed properties. Okay, so what computed properties do, they take advantage of the Vue functionality, the way it watches the change in variables. So let's say, because we specify price here and we specify price here, the Vue is already watching this, right? And every time you update this value, Vue is aware of the update globally within this app context. So what we can do is specify something like format price, which is a function, and make this function return something like pound sign plus price. Okay, and let's go into our index. Let's copy our paragraph here, and let's take format price and put it here. I did a mistake here. Wanna assign a function. Because of scope, it looks for a price in this function and I can't find it. So when you want to reference something inside the data field, you have to specify this. So what this means is your Vue app. So whenever you say this something, it's referencing it inside this Vue context instead of the function context. There's obviously a difference between having a function and our arrow function, this scope, but we'll discuss that later. Yeah. So now if we type in the price, here you can see that the computer function allows us to do something extra with the same variable and not really affect editing here. Okay, so another thing that I want to show you is methods. Let's do toggle price and let's do show price. And let's start with true. And in this method, so again, define it as a function. And let's say this dot show price equals this dot show price, but put an exclamation mark to say that it's always going to be false. Okay, so let's take this toggle price and let's go into our CSHTML and let's put a button here at the top. So let's put it after here. Let's do toggle and we can do V on, click, toggle price. Refresh. Okay. And let's do VF and let's do V show here. And we want to take show price. Let's put these in here. And let's refresh. And let's press toggle. Now you can see they're both sort of popping in and out, but the main difference of this is in the DOM. So if we go take a look at this, if we when we toggle here, you can see that the vshow basically says just hide the element, and vif removes the element from the DOM. And how you want to utilize these two components, I'm gonna show the advantages and sort of caveats with them later on in the future, and how you can how that can help with initialization. The second way to specify these events is putting the @, but because our Razor syntax reserves the keyword to access the Razor syntax, we wanna it doesn't allow us to use only one @. So we have to specify two @signs. So two @signs pretty much just start negating the first @sign. So here we can just say click, and here let's say alert, hello, and let's change the event to, is it onChange? onChange, yeah, onChange, but really we don't want the on because the View Directive already specifies that. So set at change alert hello, and let's create a method alert, and we're gonna pass in a value, and let's just do a simple alert with the value, and on change, there it is. So this is really just a brief sort of introduction of what Vue can do, and moving forward, this isn't going to really give you a broad idea of what Vue is capable of, but just a gentle introduction of how it works. And moving forward, as we use Vue more and more, we're going to go get into components and how to register them, and really show you how Vue simplifies the task of managing the front end. But this will be it for this episode. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Leave a like, subscribe. It will help my channel a lot. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll be happy to answer them. And as always, see you in the next episode.